Okay, so today I'm going to talk to you about a lot of the things that I have done wrong with this business. I've corrected some of them, still a work in progress, but I think oftentimes we think so many people have it all together and we don't know that the struggles that they go through. So I want to share them with you tonight. And hopefully, my goal is that you'll get a nugget or two that you can take away from tonight, and hopefully it will help you. So, a little bit about me. I really signed up to be a coach just because I was looking for a community of people that loved fitness as much as I did. It was hard to find. I mean, the people that I was around with locally didn't really have an interest in it, or at least the people that I knew didn't enjoy it as much as I did. So I have loved Beachbody products for probably over 10 years. Started out with Turbo Jam, and just decided that I wanted to find other people that liked it too. I would have loved for it to have been a career from the get-go, but I didn't really think it was possible, not possible for me, and I didn't really know if it was a legit opportunity. I did a lot of research, but I still thought, yeah, that's for other people. So, start off as a hobby, and now I am growing a team, and I want it to be my career moving forward. So one thing you have to note too, another thing about me, is I have a bachelor's and a master's of art degree in communication. Now you would think that I wouldn't be struggling with some of the things that I do because of that background, but yeah, it doesn't matter. Still a problem sometimes. So the first decision that I made with coaching was an important one, and it's a decision that you can make tonight too. And that decision was that I was not going to quit, that I was in it for the long haul. And that might sound like a contradiction, kind of, because as I said, that I didn't know if it was a legit opportunity, but I knew that I love fitness, and I knew that this is what I wanted to do moving forward. So, I took some time to figure, or to make the decision that I was actually going to coach, and I treated it like my marriage. When I took my wedding vows, that it was for better or for worse, that divorce wasn't an option, and that's how I look at coaching. No matter how many ups and downs there are, I'm not quitting. And I think that when you have that mindset, then when problems do come up or you're having those bad days, it's so easy to think, well, I'm going to quit, I'm going to move on, this isn't for me. But when you say, hey, I'm not quitting, that's not an option, then you're going to look for solutions. You're going to find ways to make better and make yourself better and make this work. So I'm asking you tonight to make that decision. Say that you're going to be here a year from now. Say that you're going to be here for life. I mean, who would want to give up this amazing community and Shakeology and the workouts? It's just amazing opportunity all the way around. So with that said, the next thing was really about personal development. I was probably an exception to the rule when it came to this, because I embraced it right from the get-go. I really believed that it was the only thing that was going to help me. When I graduated from college, I couldn't find a job, and I decided that I was going to interview at a company to sell copy machines. And so I interviewed. I moved on to the next step, I guess. I went out with a sales rep for the day, and when I got back, they were ready to hire me, and they said, there's only one thing left to do. You just have to take this quick personality test. Well, I took the test, and guess what? Didn't get hired. They told me that they wanted to hire me, but the test is never wrong, and I don't have what it takes to be in sales. So, of course, I owned that, and from that point moving forward, anytime there was any opportunity to do with sales, and I know that we're not really the typical sales that we're sharing and stuff, but it still is in the back of my head. You don't have what it takes. You can't sell. So like I said, I told people that all the time. I always joked how I failed my personality test. So I don't know what kind of stories you've been told or what kind of stories you tell yourself, but I want you to know that you don't have to believe other people's opinions about you. Someone else's opinions don't need to become your reality. So whatever those are, That's why I would encourage you to get in and do personal development, because it's going to really help you in those areas. It's just not an option. So if you're trying to decide what kind of personal development you should be doing, you have to really think about what areas you need to improve. Do you need to improve your communication skills, leadership skills, and then go in that direction. And also think about how you learn. I talk to people all the time that say, I don't like to read. I don't have time to read. Well, there's so many options now with Audible and podcasts. You can do it while you're getting ready in the morning, while you're making dinner, driving in the car. There's so many options. And then the one thing that, or the mistake I made when it came to personal development, is I didn't always implement. And that's the key. Once you read the information, you got to put it into action. And I'm trying to do a better job with that now. Take lots of notes, keep a record of different things and books so I know what to reference on days that I need it. I also get information or text from Darren Hardy every day, and also from Les Brown. I have an email waiting from him to me every morning. So that's how I start my day. So moving on to workouts and Shakeology. I would encourage everyone to pick a program and complete it. I know that there's a lot of hybrids out there, and it's sometimes easy to go on Beachbody On Demand and just do whatever you feel like. But I'm not the only one saying this. A lot of the top coaches on the National Wake Up Call encourage you to do the same thing. It just is a different mentality when you're following a schedule. And I think that sometimes it's easier to relate to our challengers too, because when we're asking them to do something, we need to be doing it too. And then plus, you can share your journey online and share the ups and downs. Like today, I think I did hardcore 22 minutes hardcore, and it was resistance 3. It was hard. I mean, the first set, I'm like, what am I doing? I don't even think I want to do this today. But I can't quit because I committed to the schedule and commit to doing the program. So it's just an extra layer of accountability. And the same goes with Shakeology. You have to do it every day. So I talk to some people who say that, well, I'm drinking it. Yeah. And then we say, how often are you drinking it? And it's not every day. It's kind of, once again, when you feel like it. And it's got to be something that you're consistent with if you really want to see the results. And I know last year I kind of jumped around sometimes and would drink it in the morning and then other times in the afternoon. And I missed a few days because I wasn't consistent with the time, and now I just drink it in the morning for breakfast, get it out of the way, and it makes it a little bit easier so I don't have to think about breakfast. So next thing is posting on Facebook and finding new contacts. I know oftentimes it's discouraging when you first start posting and you think that no one's reading it, no one likes your post, but people are reading it. And so many times you hear down the road how you have encouraged someone and they may have never liked your post, they may never comment it, you might not even think you're friends with them anymore, but they're still watching you. I know in the beginning that I was tempted to stop doing different things. I had a couple people unfriend me, and it was one woman was a friend, or not even a friend, it was an acquaintance in the neighborhood. I didn't even like her that much, but she had that kind of impact on me. I saw that she unfriended me, and I'm like, okay, that's it. And you can't do that. I mean, it happens to everyone. Not everyone's going to like you, and I know that's hard to handle sometimes, but you have to just keep doing it and doing what makes you happy, because you're not going to please everyone. The other thing, it was funny, the other day I just got a message from someone that I was friends with from probably 10 years ago. She was an acquaintance. I never see her post anything, and I never comment on anything because I don't see it. And she told me that she's been watching me, and she said something like she could never do some of the stuff that I do, but she's interested in coaching. And I was shocked because I'm thinking, I didn't even know you looked at my stuff. And with Facebook's different algorithms now, I don't even know how I come up in her newsfeed. So you never know who might even be searching you out to see what you're doing on a daily basis. So when it comes to finding new contacts, that's another thing where I kind of dropped the ball. I would go to people you may know on your Facebook page, or friends of friends or people you may know, and I friend request a few people. Well, the first time I did it, those people didn't accept my friend request. So once again, there I am. Well, no one likes me. I'm not going to do this. See, it doesn't work for me. And you can't do that. Not everyone's going to accept your friend request either. So you have to just keep going. And it's really a game against the odds sometimes. You have to do more than 3. You have to do it consistently to really get those new friends. And something I've been doing lately is picking one friend and going through, instead of doing people you may know, going to a friend and then going to her friends and going down the list and trying to add people that way. If I have 8 to 10 people that we have friends with in common, then I'll send them a friend request. Once again, not everyone does it, but I'm okay with that. All right. Okay, the next thing, as I said, trouble with communication. I was reaching out to people, and this would be just starting new conversations. So I would reach out and the conversation would kind of just die. For example, around Christmas, I would send a few messages like, oh, I saw what an adorable family picture, and I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. Well, I didn't ask any questions, so there really wasn't a conversation. So now I try to follow the process of comment, compliment, question, and then you have your conversation. So for example, I might see someone potty training their 18-month-old. I have a 2-year-old who is not potty trained yet. So I would send them a message and say, hey, I see you're potty training your 18-month-old. Wow, that's awesome. I can't believe how young she is, and you're really ahead of the game. Do you have any suggestions for me or any advice? So then hopefully they're going to respond back, but you have to always end in a question, or sometimes the conversation is just going to end there. And that might be common sense to you, but I always got nervous reaching out to people, and I ended, like I said, just end it with a comment, and it didn't work so well.
You always do a lot for us.
Okay. So also struggled with meeting new people in person. In the back of my mind, the whole time I'm thinking,
guys, please mute your lines.
I got to get points. I have to talk to people about Beachbody, and it was stressful. And I know this is silly stuff, because why wouldn't you just go and have a good time? And if it comes up in conversation, it does. But it just put a lot of stress on me. So I went to a party a few months ago, and I decided that's the end of that. I'm just going to make friends and get to know people. So I met someone new. I started talking to them. They found out I was a coach. I gave them a little bit of information, but then I turned the conversation back to them. And we talked, and I really liked her. Well, the next day, when I came home that night, the next day, I sent her a friend request. She accepted. And then I just sent her a message, told her how much I enjoyed meeting her. I complimented her on something, and it ended. I was going to reach back out to her in a couple of days after she saw some of my posts, and maybe I commented on her stuff, but she ended up reaching out to me and asking me if I would train her. And this isn't like the norm. I know this was just a lucky time that it actually worked out so well. But I told her, I didn't do that, but I would be happy to have her be in a challenge group. And now she's a challenger, and it was just, I guess, night and day difference on how you approach things. One is, I really took an interest in her rather than me thinking the whole time, how am I going to bring up Beachbody? So that's just a suggestion that worked. All right. And the next area is just inviting people in general. I judge people all the time. I think they won't be interested. They don't want to do it. And you can't do that. So many people that I didn't invite ended up approaching me and asking me for more information, or ended up becoming a challenger. And then every time I'm like, oh my gosh, why didn't I invite them months ago? So don't judge, just invite. And another mistake I made too was after I invited someone, I didn't talk about Shakeology very much. I kind of left it as an afterthought, and I think that's why I had trouble just selling challenge packs in the beginning. So now when I talk about a challenge group and what's involved, I always make sure that Shakeology is included in some of the benefits. So then when I do get to the price, they understand everything that's involved, and I'm not like throwing Shakeology in at the last minute. And finally, you just have to be confident. I mean, if you're doing the workouts and following a program and drinking Shakeology and participating in challenge groups, you know it works because you're getting the results too. So that should make you more confident in your invites.
Don't joke, please.
And finally, just moving forward, if you are struggling with any of those negative thoughts or any negative stories that you're telling yourself, you really need to bombard yourself with new beliefs and hopes, and that's going to come through personal development. And it also pertains to the people that you're talking to too. If you have friends that are putting this opportunity down or putting your post down, you really need to take a step back and maybe distance yourself from them for a little bit and be around the supportive people. I mean, we have a great team here full of supportive people that want to cheer you on and have your back. So you need to stay immersed in that kind of environment. And also, you need to draw a line in the sand. If you weren't good at something in the past, you can learn to be good at it. And it's not easy to tell yourself, hey, I'm so good at this now, but you can say, I used to believe I was bad at making new friends, but I'm getting better and better every day. And then go out and back up your words with an action. You know, meet some new people, add some new people on Facebook, expand your network. And then finally, you're going to feel the fear. And I think everyone does, but not everyone shares it. But you just have to do it anyhow. And that's a lesson I'm still learning. You know, it's still so much a work in progress. But I wanted to share some of the areas that I struggled with. And hopefully you'll see that you can still, you know, stumble. You can fall, but you just got to get back up and keep going. So that's all I had for tonight.
Your sister sleeps like dog in the hall.
You can rent out her couch. I checked the website. Totally legit. So room sharing, but Georgie snores.
So does anyone have any questions?
Okay, and then what planet? I've not heard some random business DJ.
Mom and Dad told us when we're kids.
Oh,
Do you need your tag to get rid of it?
all right. Okay, well, thank you, everyone. Unless Corey has anything, I hope you all have a good night. Okay, take care, everyone.
And how do I leave this?